How's it going? This arrived in the mail today. And we're gonna open it. I mentioned in an earlier video, when it just arrived, I could barely contain my excitement. Because why not? We're gonna open it. It's Battle Cat, but not the deluxe edition. It doesn't have the extra heads, sculpts, and whatnot. But that's okay. I was not gonna wait for an opportunity to buy one of those deluxe timed editions. I don't think they're gonna make them anymore. And if they do, they're probably gonna just maybe update it like what they did with He-Man 2.0. And we could worry about that later. For now, we're making it. So this is how we spend our Saturday nights. Try to make it really organized here. Let's check out the box art. That's what it looks like. Take a gander at it for a while. By the way, when we it came in and it came delivered by FedEx, and they did their job well. There doesn't seem to be any damage to the box. It came with a cardboard box with not much packaging material, but it did come with this for the corners. There's probably one more somewhere that I forgot about, but this is what it came with. It'd be a good idea to keep these for future projects, maybe a diorama or something, right? Just because we can. Okay. There's some light creasing on the box. If I do manage to resell it, because why not? It's been a while since I owned something of this magnitude. I did buy a Voltus 5 with a comparative price range, but it's nowhere as big as this. Okay, so I think that was just expensive for, just for the sake of being expensive. There seems to be a handle there where you can pull it. A bunch of styrofoam. Set aside the box with the art. We got tape here. says top. And I think when you take it out the box, the side that has the obvious part is the one that's on the top. So you may want to, if you plan on making a similar purchase, you may want to do the same thing. Oh, look. Nothing fancy here, just a cat. The head sculpt. Check that out. Battle cat. A little maroon tongue in there. Okay, so set that aside. They weren't kidding. There's really not much in accessories here. Ah, it's really heavy. And I probably need to I'm taking out all the tape just because I'm ADD like that. ADHD like that. So that if we ever want to keep it back in the box, you could just do it so without the extra stuff, the extra fluff. Okay, it's just because there's no reason to be keeping this. You know, maybe this smells good. Got that addicting new toy smell. Oh, it's a little front heavy, I will just say. And the plastic right here. I'm just pulling out the stuff. I think it's just a precautionary measure that while it's in transit, you don't need to. They don't scratch themselves and get knocked into each other. So it's got the stirrups here. It's got styrofoam in between, what possibly could knock each other during transit or delivery, because you never know with these guys. All right, not to say that they won't be doing their job, but absolutely awesome here. It might be a good idea to I'm taking out as much as I can without having to disassemble this, because I simply don't want to. I haven't done my research, but I'm sure there's probably a Panthro version, or Panther. I keep mispronouncing it, because they did have a crossover, didn't they? Oh wow. For now, I think I am gonna keep this. Keep it like so until there's a need to really unstrap the Battle Cat armor. Seems like I may need to finally take it apart, but I'll do it off cam so you guys don't have to suffer. Ah, look at that. I don't need to. Sweet. I don't need to disassemble it. I got most of it out. Extremely satisfying, and if I need to cut off some parts, I may need to. Just be careful that you don't snip off any pieces of the plastic or the leather. It seems like it's made of leather, some of it. Anyways, the stirrups seem like they are. Look at that, that's a beauty. Certainly not cringer. We're not cringing around here. Woo. The tail went off. Okay, I may have to reattach the tail. Hold on. Okay, I figured it out. And what a beauty this piece is. Mind the mess. There are a lot of moving parts to the saddle, or the battle cut armor as we call it. Seems a little, feels like a little bit like leather. I can't tell you exactly what kind of material it is. It feels nice, well decorated. Some designs that I'm particularly fond of. It's a Battle Cat insignia right there. Carving, so you know. I don't want to fool around too much with the joint articulation. Okay, but that's the saddle. You got cats insignias anywhere. Not necessarily telling the story, but it's definitely good. A good wash, good design. Maybe being, you know, not exactly weathered, but if you know what I mean. I accidentally popped the right paw out, but it could be easily reattached. So there's moving parts right here. It sways side to side. Yeah, I believe these are separate pieces that are probably jointed together at some connection underneath. Sorry guys, I'm no Pixel Dan, but I'm just showing you just the raw footage, the way that I just call it out. I can't express how happy I am with this piece, especially when freaking He-Man 2.0 finally comes around. He's already been ordered, and I'm just waiting on the shop app, because that's you know, I have an existing shop.app account, and it just informs you everything you need to know about the shipping, delivery time, and all that delivery details. Grogu looking in the distance. Oh, found the missing piece. So it turns out this does come in 8 to protect the box, mostly. You like my music? Hey, good boy. Okay, seems like I didn't really need too much in terms of tools, but I had a bunch here ready to prod and ready to just snip at things. But I just, I just needed a pair of scissors and maybe the cutter. That's my cat using his cat scratcher. I don't want to just pull it out. There are no instructions here, by the way, showing how to pull this stuff out. If you want to be adventurous, you may want to risk trying to break your battle cat if you do it by yourself without any research. But you know what? I don't think it's going to cause any harm if I do it by myself. So maybe I'll pull off the existing head so I can put on the full-on battle cat armor, and I'll do it off camera. Hey, so guess what? I was able to take it off. It was initially stiff probably because it's the first time that the head's been taken off in ages, if any. All you got to do is hair dryer it for about 30 to 45 seconds. Just take care not to move it too close to the head part or the head joint. Here you go. It's shaped like a hex over there, so you don't want to force it in the wrong way. And that's all it took. These are not the typical toys that you want to be playing with. So just as a I wonder if you could turn it this way. You could. What a perfect time to be playing around here, Scooch. Okay, be right back. I'm gonna use the head. So I managed to get in the head somehow, but it's not easy to move around, guys. I just confess here, it's a very heavy piece. And I really don't want to fuck around with it too much because I already kind of accidentally and maybe a little forcibly took out a front paw. seems to reattach with no problem. But trying to bear its own weight, you don't go and play with it like your regular Masterverse or your Origins figures, because the sheer weight just renders it very hard for it to be moved around. We can compare, for the rest of the video, we can compare it to other Battle Cats. Of course, this is the 1/6 scale, meaning your He-Man would be 12 inches high, 12 inches tall. I'm not going to measure this for you. You have the dimensions. You can probably have a more accurate reading from other sites. But as you can see, compared with the 1/12 scale Battle Cat, there's significantly a lot of differences. Like the articulation, I'm sure it's similar, but not quite. And this is more traditional Battle Cat pose. I mean, Battle Cat helmet. That's what we got. I would have wished that if we had the alternate Battle Cat helmet. This is the Origins size. Articulation in the jaw. This doesn't have any articulations on the paw, and this has articulation, individual articulation on each toe, on each paw. Well, the front paws. My bad. Yeah. The rear paw is very similar. Similarly articulated like the rear of the Revelations Battle Cat. And for the sake of comparisons in this price point, we got Panther, or Panther. Obviously, lots of differences, but this has the stirrups, and I don't know which one came first, the Battle Cat or the Panther Masterverse, but they have similar ideas in stirrups. Although this is expressed in a different way because it is, I haven't tried really putting Skeletor's feet inside these stirrups. There really has been no need to. I just want my figures to last as long as I do. They probably will. When I'm all buried 6 feet under, my Battle Cats will still be roaming the earth. And for the sake of comparison, we have Cringer. It certainly dwarfs the Cringer from the Origins line. But I do have to say, I'm really impressed with the way that this is articulated. How about let's see a Battle Cat that's maybe not as slender, but the same scale as this, but with the same level of articulation. How about it? And I'm patiently waiting for the Chronicles Battle Cat to arrive because I'm certainly gonna pick that up. We're really full of cats in this house, both plastic and living. Okay. The tail does, it's articulated, but it does not do this, okay? It just goes round and round. And I don't see any problem with that. There has been no need for me to just do that. Because I did pull this out by accident. It popped out. And when you try to pop in or pop out parts of the battle cat, I can imagine you don't want to hold it by the saddle because it's just going to rub against the figure, and you don't want to do that with something of this price range. Yeah, this is not the rough and tumble battle cat. This is not your grandfather's battle cat. Actually, it is. It's not your version of battle cat from the 1980s for sure. But see how far we've gone, the evolution, right? It would have been nice to have the cringer head and the alternate head. That would have been nice. It's an extra expense, of course, and not much, but it surely isn't, extra unnecessary expense if you have to pay $1,500 just because somebody got to enjoy your battle cat first. Screw you, all you guys who want to make a profit out of this. Hey, if that's your hustle, that's cool. I can probably bend this back a little bit. Anyways, I think I can add nothing more to this, except I'll be patiently waiting for He-Man 12-inch 2.0 to come about. Grogu says bye, and see you in the next one.